And breaking news tonight, the tragic shooting of an unarmed teen in Florida.
Trayvon Martin.
His name was Trayvon Martin, just 17 years old.
From the night that Trayvon Martin was killed.
The Trayvon Martin story.
Oprah speaks out for the very first time about the tragic shooting of Trayvon Martin.
Shock and grief turned to growing outrage.
I am infuriated.
Tonight's lead, the shooting death of 17-year-old Trayvon Martin is sparking a national outcry for justice.
As more protests sprouted up across the country, spontaneously rallying for justice, calling for his arrest, and the Black Panthers offering a $10,000 bounty for his capture. But Sonner contends his client acted only out of self-defense and is not a racist.
Trayvon Martin's time stopped because he was snuffed with the heavy Ruger. Gunshots to make your heart stop as they come into your teardrops. Friends watch a funeral procession. The universal question is, who ain't get the message? Like, who ain't know? Truth be told, he's still like a giant on his tippy toes. Future goals with being a classic like the pick and roll. Hits me low and cuts me deep. What if he meant to show his peeps how he flows on instrumentals in his sleep? Lord knows we'll ever see another of his pedigree. Another brother making cheese, providing for his family. The side of insanity, there's no understanding me is like they can't stand to see a black man who achieved from the inner city scene, giving nothing but a dream and simply busting out the seams what they made him out to be. Zimmerman has no apologies how he played it. He said he's not a racist. We need to come together as a nation.
Another kind, mindless and ruthless. I don't know, it must be some kind of spectacle. A correctional was where I spent my time as a professional. Mental correctionals could have a society blinded and unable to perceive me as a regular kind. A man with a mind, a soul and a heart with blood, the blood from a line. Put a line from my neck as a familiar sign. Truth.
Sanford Police Department.
Hey, we've had some break-ins in my neighborhood, and there's a real suspicious guy. This guy looks like he's up to no good, or he's on drugs or something.
And this guy, is he white, black, or Hispanic?
He's got his hand in his waistband. Yeah, he's a black male.
Did you see what he was wearing?
Yeah, a dark hoodie, like a gray hoodie, and either jeans or sweatpants and white tennis shoes. He's here now. He was just staring.
Oh, he's just walking around the area.
At all the houses.
Name is Ifya Inyang, class 2011. I think I first heard about it actually at work. A coworker was telling me about how a 9-year-old, 10-year-old boy was gunned down on his way back from a convenience store by some neighborhood watch person.
Okay. And what was your initial response?
Where was it? Is it racially provoked?
Yeah,
I just assumed that something bad happened and he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Was my first reaction to it.
Okay.
I think it seems that it's already struck a national chord with people. I think that most people have an opinion about it, but it seems like for whatever reason a lot of people are afraid to share it. I think I'm all about being slow to judgment, but it seems that the evidence is pretty strong and the lack of action is pretty appalling. So,
what would you do if you were the Sanford police? What would you?
I think you have to bring him in. I think you have to charge him, and I know they're having a grand jury, but I think that a lot of it should have happened already. The whole notion of him walking out free is troubling, to say the least.
Say that one more time.
That's a fact.
What do you mean? You'd be consistent? I don't understand what you're saying.
All of the perpetrators of the prior burglaries, were young black males.
And so when he saw Trayvon Martin, in your mind, it would make perfect sense to say he's a young black male. He probably is Robert. Is that what you're saying?
Well, you know, there's an old saying that if you plant corn, you get corn.
I don't know that saying, so I'm going to have to ask you to tell me what that means. If you plant corn, you get corn. What does that mean in this case?
It is what it is. It is what it is. I would go on record by stating that of the 8 prior burglaries in the 15 months prior to the Trayvon Martin shooting, All of the perpetrators were young black males.
When you was snuffed with the heavy Ruger, gunshots that make your heart stop as they come into your teardrops. Friends watch the funeral procession, and the universal question is, who ain't get the message? Like, who ain't know? Truth be told, he's still like a giant on his tippy toes. Future goes, being a classic like the pick and roll, it hits me low and cuts me deep. Like he wasn't gonna show his peeps how he flows on instrumentals in his sleep. Lord knows we'll ever see another of his pedigree. Another brother making cheese, providing for his family. The side of insanity, there's no one understanding me. It's like they can't stand to see a black man who achieved from the inner city scene, giving nothing but a dream and simply busting out the seams what they made him out to be. Zimmerman has no apologies, how he played it. He says he's not a racist. We got to come together as a nation.
Truth. An uncaged animal, call the patrol and tell him that he's a stray and he's on the road. He's plotting to prey, and I just pray that he can recognize that I am truth. An uncaged animal, call the patrol and tell him that he's a stray and he's on the road. He's plotting to prey, and I just pray that he can recognize that I am a bag full of Skittles, a face full of help. A shot to his mind, a strip of his soul, a stop of his heart, a flattening line, a bottle of tea, a bag full of Skittles, a face full of tears, tears full of sorrow that we've been facing for years, years full of pain, pain full of vain. They said progress will come, but it's staying the same. Assholes like me always get away, yet I never get away to escape this perception. Truth. And as I throw on my hood, they say I'm up to no good, but understand that I'm a man with a mind with a thought full of whys. This is not a disguise. Lies. No. Truth.